Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about the environment and climate change. We'll be discussing vocabulary, reading a little bit, and talking about our own opinions. If anyone wants to friend me on Facebook, I put my name in the chat box. You can friend me there. Or come get a tutoring session with me. Su Ming, welcome to class.
Hello, good to see you.
Good to
How are
see you
you?
too, Su Ming. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I'm enjoying my last day of the weekend before we go back to work tomorrow.
Wow. Any interesting at your weekend?
Let's see. Well, it's been a little rainy, so I've been enjoying time inside and watching some movies this
Oh,
weekend. It's been a lazy weekend, but a nice weekend.
very relax weekend.
Relaxing. And how was your weekend?
Oh, I went to swim. Went to swim.
Huh?
Swimming.
Swimming. Excellent. Is it hot enough to go swimming?
What's mean? What's
Is it
question?
hot? Hot enough to go swimming?
Oh, I think 21 to 22 degree. 21, 22. I think that is a better weather to swim. Yeah.
So it's still a little bit chilly, but not too bad. Spring
Yeah.
weather.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Samuel, welcome to class.
Uh, Welcome. Hi, Michaela. Oh,
Sorry. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing very well. Have I had you in class before, Samuel?
Yes, it's my first class with you, and other class in Berlin is probably 20 or 18. Yeah.
I see. Well, it's good to meet you, Samuel. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain. I live in Madrid. Pleased to meet you.
Excellent.
Thank you. Sorry.
Nice. I'm
Nice to
from
meet you.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Ah, it's all right.
Good to have you with us. Rafael, welcome back.
I'm Kayla.
Good to see you back. You're doing a
See you
lot of
too.
English today, huh?
Today, yesterday, the whole weekend.
Good plan. Using your weekends to study.
Yeah.
All right. And Hafa. Am I saying it right? Is it Hafa or is it Rafa?
Rafa, perhaps it's better.
Rafa. Okay.
X is it's similar to Rafael. It's the same name in Spanish.
I see.
It's
Sorry.
the diminutive. It doesn't matter. It's only.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you back too.
Thank you.
And the first thing that we're going to do in class today is brainstorm some vocabulary that we would use in a discussion about the environment. So think for a second, and then I'm going to ask you guys to list some words that we'll be able to use today to discuss the environment. Su Ming, can you think of any vocabulary words that are related to environmental discussions?
I think environment storm.
Storm? Yeah,
Yeah, storm.
definitely. Anything else?
Earthquake.
Earthquake,
Uh,
good one. Definitely good. Samuel, how about you? Can you give us any vocabulary words that we would use to talk about the environment or climate change?
Oh, my vocabulary is poor. Sorry. Yes, it's I think it's probably the change for climate for effect in invernadero in CA2. Sorry. Oh, not hurt for you. Don't hurt you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Is your vocabulary word CO2? Sorry.
No. Okay.
All right. So what was your vocabulary word, CO2?
No, my vocabulary is in climate is a poor. I sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Well, hopefully we can improve that today. Are there any words that you think we might use today that you already know?
Yes.
Like what?
Sorry.
So what kind of words do you think we will use today to talk about the environment? It could be anything related to the environment. Su Ming gave us storm and earthquake. What else is there?
Oh. Environment is a climate for Earth, no?
The climate of Earth. That's a good one, a good term to know. Okay. Rafael, can you think of any other vocabulary words we can add to our list about the climate or about the environment?
Greenhouse gases.
Yeah, greenhouse gases. That's a good one. What are greenhouse gases?
Gases which are stuck in the atmosphere. They don't allow the heat goes to space. So it increases the temperature in the atmosphere.
Good one. Anything else, Rafael?
Pollution.
Pollution. Great one. Definitely an important discussion when we're talking about the environment. All right. Rafa, what are some vocabulary words you can add to our list about the environment?
I think greenhouse effect, CO2 track. Also, you can global warming, ozone, pollution, solar energy could be, to recycle.
Ooh, recycling. Great idea. Definitely a good one. Thank you, Rafa. And Aka, can you think of any other vocabulary words we would use in a discussion about the environment or global warming?
CO2?
CO2 is a good one. That's important.
Sea level
What was that last one?
rising ocean
Rising.
level.
Rising ocean level. And why would we talk about the rising ocean level?
Because it is said it's because of the global warming. Now ocean level in the water is rising. Melt of the South Pole and North Pole is melt. Not melt. Ice of the South Pole and North Pole are melting.
Melting ice, yeah. All right, that's a good start. We've got a lot of topics here that we can cover today. And I'll put our list of vocabulary words in both chat boxes for you. And then I'm going to send you guys the notes that we're going to be looking at today. Okay, so there's our vocabulary words and our notes. And starting off the class, we're going to read some statements about climate change and talk a little bit about them. And I'll screen share for anyone who needs it. So, our very first statement, I'm going to ask Su Ming to read for us. Will you read the first bullet point for us?
Oh, okay. Climate change is the most serious shift to our planet at the moment. All countries should be forced to apply serious regulations to reduce carbon emissions.
Okay, so we used some of the vocabulary words we talked about earlier. What about carbon emissions? That's a term we didn't talk about yet. What are carbon emissions? What are carbon emissions? Anybody?
When you are using fossil fuels, there are a lot of carbon particles that you emit in the atmosphere, and this is the CO2 track that you can find about cars or about calefactors, or and everywhere you can find emissions when you are using fossil fuels.
Exactly. So it's a dangerous kind of pollution. And the statement we have is climate change is the most serious threat to our planet at the moment. All countries should be forced to apply serious regulation to reduce carbon emission. So, Aka, do you think that that statement is fair, or do you think it's exaggerated? What's your opinion on that statement?
I think it could be true, but some researchers say a different thing. But seems like that. The researcher is now arguing and discuss the global warming is happening, but the cause of whether the cause of global warming is CO2 or not, or a lot of different things are said and done. But in my feeling, Earth's climate, this area's climate is getting warmer, and definitely. So Earth is getting warmer, but I'm not a researcher, so I don't know the true cause of global warming happening now.
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what's going on since we're not all scientists, right? Very true. David, welcome to class.
Thanks.
So, David, we just read a statement that said climate change is the most serious threat to our planet in the moment. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, I think that this argument are true.
And why do you think it's true?
Normal people can do much to stop global warming because it's impossible to make a new advanced technology, and the normal in the industry must to advance, and it's necessary contaminate to realize these actions.
All right. Thanks for sharing your opinion with us. Rafa, do you agree with him that it's the most serious threat to our planet right now?
In my humble opinion, there are other issues that are very dangerous, like starving people, but perhaps the most dangerous could be this one. I agree, but I am not agree with the statement because there are many governments that don't take care about regulation to CO2 track. There are many places in Asia, Africa, also in Europe and America that don't have any care about the print of CO2 in the planet.
So it is a pretty serious problem, but in your opinion, there's a lot of serious problems. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Rafa. Rafael, you're up next. What do you think about this statement? Is it true or exaggerated?
No, it's not exaggerated. It's really true. We are undergoing several changes in climate, and global warming. It's affecting not only not only uh, the not only the environment but also other aspects like food production, and some storms are getting stronger and they are causing more and more destruction and floods, and uh, some drought periods are getting longer, and it's affecting more and more people throughout years.
Very true. So it's related to a lot of other problems.
Yes.
Good ideas. Samuel, do you agree? You think it's one of the most serious problems right now?
Yes, this is a serious problem. It's probably is a consequence for tsunamis or twister and other things in the earth.
Those are some good vocabulary words too. Tsunamis and twisters are some pretty extreme weather. Do you think this extreme weather is caused by global warming and climate change?
Yes, I think it's probably.
All right. And Su-Ming, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. The global warming is very important, yeah, at that time, because the temperature is continually rising. I think the ice cap of the North Pole and South Pole will dis, uh, disappear. So the sea level will be increased, and some the lower place will be covered by the water, by the sea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So, our next statement, Samuel, will you read our second bullet point in our list that I've highlighted?
The second point, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should do
No, sorry.
whatever.
The one right above that starts with normal.
Second. Oh, okay, sorry. Normal people can't do much to stop global warming.
Mm-hmm. And Samuel, what do you think about that? Do you think that's true that normal people can't do much to stop global warming?
Yes, it's probably the people can't do using sprays or other thing is worse for climate, and not change your mind.
So what are the kinds of things that normal people can do to stop global warming?
No, I don't understand.
So as a normal person, what kind of action could you take to stop global warming?
Sorry. The people is a single people, no?
What kind of people?
The single people can't change to climate. Is necessary a mind collective, no?
Okay, I see what you're saying. So we need to make a group in order to make a difference, right?
Yes.
I see. Su-Ming, do you agree? Do you think that single people cannot make a change, but we need to group together in order to change?
No. I think everyone can do something to stop the global warming. You don't eat a lot of meat. You know the meat, the pig and the cow will release the carbon dioxide. Yeah. So I think we can do something. Yeah.
That could make a difference. Cutting down on meat sounds like a good change.
Yeah. If we don't eat a lot of meat, yeah, so we can stop the carbon dioxide release much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. That would make a big change. Rafael, what do you think? Are there any ways that a normal person or a single person can stop global warming?
Not a single person. As we already mentioned in the class, only with a collective change in mindset, it could have some effect in stop global warming. But I've watched some documentaries telling that the biggest industries in the United States, Europe, and Asia are responsible for, I don't know, perhaps 70 or 80% of global emissions of CO2 in the atmosphere. So the single we the single person, normal people are not totally responsible, are not strongly responsible for the emissions to of these gases. But of course, only with a collective change in mindset, if everyone go together, everyone start putting in their minds that we must change the our way of living in order to to help the environment, it would have some effect, but unfortunately, this is not what happens so far.
Okay. So you think like Samuel, you think single people or people, independent people, won't be able to do much unless we group together and stop something together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rafa, what do you think about it? Do you think that there's something that normal people can do to stop global warming?
Yeah, I think regular people could do a lot of things with saving energy, taking public transportation, don't use private cars, also using bicycles to commuting, and take care of the organic residues or the garbage recycling as plastics, or don't consume a lot of things with plastic bottles and something like that. But and on the other hand, I think the most important the most important weight is in the government, also with the regulation of the law and making some rules to the residues. This is my opinion.
Okay. So you think we should attack it from both sides, do some individual action, and also do some action together to help stop it?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Next up is David. What do you think? Is there anything that a normal person can do to help stop global warming?
I agree with Rafa. Your opinion, I think that is true, because in that in this moment, or in the actuality, is the normal people can do much, because it's impossible in all people use the car, all people use the mobile phone, all people use the electricity for hot houses, and it's impossible to make any action for don't don't change the climate, don't climate change.
I see. So you think that the only way to change would be to do it as a large group of people and not individually. All right. Fair opinion. Aka, do you agree? Do you think that there's not much a single person can do in order to change global warming and the climate?
Probably a single people's lifestyle changes climate. So a single person's effort is also effective. And also the government or kind of political negotiation is also very important to solve this problem.
Definitely. Political negotiation would be an important step as well. All right. So the next statement is actually the fifth one. We're going to skip down and talk about the fifth statement. Rafael, will you read the fifth statement for us?
The fifth statement.
It's highlighted.
Climate change isn't as serious as people say. People like to worry about something.
For this one, I'm going to start on the left this time with Aka. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Okay, sorry, I lost the statement, so wait a moment. Okay, climate change is serious as people say. People like to worry about something. Actually, I think it's serious, but I think since it turned to be a political problem, so some researchers, some group claim global warming is not happening. You know, that's kind of thing. Skepticism is on the web or newspaper and American media, and but personally, I don't believe too much skepticism because it's a science matter. So science should research more about that. And I browsed the internet now, and every time stop. How can I say? Stop showing the skepticism side of the opinion, because one organization claimed almost 90% possibility global warming is happening for the human behavior.
Wow. It's hard to know who to listen to sometimes with so many voices saying different things.
Yes, so it's very confusing.
Definitely. David, what do you think about this statement? Do you think that climate change is not as serious as people say?
Well, I think that the people today are more concerned about labor and economics of climatic change. That is secondary. If there were major problems, if climate belief would worry only, I think. Only if all people work, don't worry about the climate, I think.
So people don't worry enough?
I think that the people don't worry about the climate. More worry about the economy or the labor or works, jobs, etc.
Okay, so you completely disagree with this statement.
Yes.
All right. How about Rafa? Do you agree or disagree with this climate change isn't as serious as people say?
I agree with the first part of the sentence and also with the second part. People like to worry about everything. If you don't worry, perhaps you don't exist. But the climate change, in my opinion, is more dangerous than we know. We are aware about it. There are several research that show us the climate is changing, the ice. The ice is going down every year. Last year I went to Iceland, and it's amazing. The icebergs, many, they are decreasing every year. The ice is decreasing, and I think it's more dangerous than we know. But people always is getting used to these changings and don't worry about. But in my opinion, we must be aware what is happening.
So we have to be more aware and make sure we know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Rafael, do you think climate change isn't as serious as people say?
No, it's really serious. People, I don't think people are totally aware about this problem. Some specialists say that the average temperature will increase around 2 or 3 degrees in this century. Some people might think this is not okay. It's just 2 or 3 degrees, but only this only 2 or 3 degrees might change the whole environment on Earth, and perhaps maybe some diseases can show up, some eradicated diseases can show up again, and some, as I mentioned before, some droughts and could be more stronger, and there are also other consequences about this change in temperature.
Definitely. There are a lot of consequences. Samuel?
Yes?
What do you think? Is the problem more serious or less serious than people say?
Yes, I think it's more serious the people say it. For example, the sea level for south ice and is a heavy. For example, today a heavy raining for China or twister for United States, Kansas. No.
We've had a lot of extreme weather.
Yes, this is extreme weather and some word. Yeah.
All right. And Su-Ming, what are your thoughts on this?
I disagree. The people say it's not serious because the extremely weather is it was happened before. The Texas of the United States had a snow before. That is very near the south. Yeah.
What was that last part?
I say the Texas of United States has slowed before. The Texas is the southern part of the United States. So why there was a slowing? Yeah, I think there is a total change. Yeah, the temperature change.
All right. So we have two more statements, and I'm going to ask David to read the second to last one, which I'll highlight here. Will you read that, David?
Yes, there are simply too many people living on planet Earth.
And the very last one, Akka, will you read that for us?
Okay, we are going to lose many animal species and areas of lowland in the very near future because of global warming.
Okay, so here are two very separate issues. One is overpopulation, talking about too many people on planet Earth, and the other is losing animal species because of global warming. And I'd like you guys to decide which you think is more important. Do you think overpopulation is a bigger danger to the world, or is losing animal species and plant species a bigger danger to the ecosystem? And I'm going to start with Rafa. Tell us, which do you think is a more important problem?
I think there are many people living on the planet, and also the correlation between how much we are right now and how many people we going to be in the next 25 years, it could be horrible. Perhaps the the earth crashed down in it could be horrible, thinking what happened in the next 25 years. But in my opinion, this could be the biggest problem right now.
Overpopulation?
Overpopulation.
Yeah, it's very serious. Do you have any ideas as to how we would combat this problem, what we can do to stop overpopulation?
It's easy, in my opinion.
Yeah, the solution seems simple sometimes.
Yeah. Nuclear war and reduce the population.
What was that, Suming?
I think nuclear war will reduce the population.
So do you think that overpopulation is a bigger problem than losing the plant and animal species of the world?
Yes, there are too much. There are too many people in the planet. Yeah.
And what do you think we'll be able to do about that in the future? What are some possible solutions to that problem?
I think the couple should not have too many children. Maybe a couple with one children or two children is better.
Yeah, we could regulate how many children people have. That would be one solution. All right. Samuel, which do you think is a more important problem, the overpopulation or losing plant and animal species?
I think it's probably too many people living on planet Earth. For in actually 7,000 people live in planet. Yeah.
7,000?
No, it's 7,000 millions.
Ah, 7,000 million. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. This is
So
a big problem for resource for a few petrol or a few energy for all people.
And what do you think a possible solution is?
It's probably one solution. The people try to go by public transport or using or recycling plastic or not eat food other parts for the of the world. For example, in Spain, it's normal eating pineapple for Brazil or Ecuador.
So yeah, we could cut down on a lot of that waste and unnecessary emissions and pollution. That would be one way to handle the problem.
Yes.
Aka, what do you think about these? Which do you think is a more important issue right now, overpopulation or losing plant and animal species?
Maybe because of the overpopulation, losing animal species problem happening. It seems like that. So if we could stop overpopulation, probably we could stop second issue.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cause and effect, possibly. They're very related issues, huh? Good point. All right, and Rafael, I think you're the last one. Tell us, which do you think is a more important problem right now?
I agree with the idea with have so many people living on Earth. Perhaps if we start thinking in implement some birth campaigns, birth control campaigns, in order to prevent people from having children and increase this number, like China does. Um, I think would be. I think it's a way to try to diminish this matter in the future. So yes, as you mentioned before, it's a cause consequence relationship. Uh, if there are too many people living around the world, uh, so the production of we have to increase the production. So increasing the production will increase the pollution. Increase the pollution will increase the gas emissions. Increasing the gas emissions will affect the global warming. Affecting the global warming, the ice will melt and the sea levels will grow. So it's a cause relationship. It's a cause consequence relationship.
All right. Does anyone have any last comments or questions on the statements we read? Okay. Then below that, we have a couple more questions that we're going to answer. And the first one is, what do you do in your life that affects the environment? And you guys can choose to focus on the positive things you do, so maybe ways that you try to decrease pollution or use less energy, or you can focus on some of the negative things that we do in general that hurt the environment. And for this one, I'm going to start with Suming. How do your actions affect the environment, Suming?
I think save the energy and the resource and don't waste too much things and yeah, like that. We reduce the pollution.
So you try not to waste?
Not no. Don't waste too much thing.
Okay, like what? What do you try not to waste?
You know the furnitures. A lot of furnitures throughout is very good condition. They just want to change the style. Yeah, too much thing like that. The electric device. Yeah, that is also can use before they throw it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Samuel?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you do in your life that affects the environment?
I intend use save energy using light low energy, and I go to use public transport and anything.
Okay, so public transport, and you try to save energy with lights? All right. Any other effects that you think you have on the environment? Could be negative or positive.
Negative?
Could be, whatever you want to talk about. Negative or positive, any effect you have on the environment.
Positive, no?
Yeah, the ones you mentioned before were definitely positive effects. Do you think there's anything else you do that affects the environment?
I don't understand, sorry.
Would you like to give us any more of the same? So you said light and public transportation. Is there anything else?
Now, or recycling plastic.
Good idea. Very good idea. Very helpful. All right, Rafael, what do you think? What effect do you have on the environment?
I was trying to think to remember this, if which effects I do to the environment. I don't think I cause any good effect to the environment. I think my way of living, it's I don't know, it's you can consider an ordinary way of living. I try to I do normal things, and I try to separate my garbage, in order to separate plastic and fabric and several in different bottles, in different trash cans. And what else I can do? I try to avoid using my car, and when it's a near place, sometimes I go walking or using my bicycle in order to prevent and gas emissions, and that's it. I'm guilty. I don't do many things in order to prevent global warming and these things.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty common way to live. I think most of us live in general without thinking too much about it, maybe trying to do little things here and there, but I think you're right. I think the normal lifestyle tends to be a little harmful to the environment.
Sometimes sometimes we don't even know about some acts we are making, we are doing. It's really affecting the environment. But well, they really are. But we are not 100% aware about it.
Totally true. Ignorance is a problem because if we don't know, then there's not much we can do about it.
Yes.
Good point. Very good point. Hafa, what do you think? What kind of effects do you think you have on the environment, good or bad?
I think I have a bad effect in the environment because everything I do, everything is bad for the environment. If I eat meat, it's bad for the environment. If I have a ride in my car, it's bad for the environment. If I use my computer to use Berlin, it's bad for the environment. Everything is bad for the environment because I am wasting energy, I am wasting electricity and everything. Only a few things that I can do every day, like recycling or taking care of waste and the garbage is the only thing I can do to preserve the environment. The other things are very bad for the environment.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Pretty much everything we do in normal life has a negative effect, huh?
Yeah.
It's very tough. Next up, David. What effect do you think you have on the environment?
What? I don't know. I am a very bad person about the climate, with the climate, because don't use any practice for help the environment. I use the car, I use the mobile phone, I use I don't recycle the, the plastics and the crystal. I don't know. Mm, but there's people that are very ecologist o ecológica, no sé cómo se dice, ecologista,
Ecological?
ecological person, I think. But
Okay.
I don't know.
So you feel a little guilty, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. I think we all have a lot of improvements to make, for sure. Like we've been talking about, the normal lifestyle is pretty harmful to the environment, and I think that's true for most. All right. And Aka, what effects do you think you have on the environment?
Yeah, modern life based on the consuming energy, so especially the fossil energy. Maybe in the future we can rely on the solar power or such kind of natural energy. But nowadays, we have to rely on the kind of fossil fuel based modern life. So I'm doing a lot of bad thing for the environment, and only I'm doing now is the recycling and the plastic cans and I collect the garbage and I bring these garbage for garbage recycling center.
That's definitely a good start. We have we've got a long way to go. I think all of us have a long way to go, but recycling is a good start. And like you mentioned, fossil fuels is one of the biggest problems that we all have a part in, for sure. Any other comments or questions on this one? How we affect the environment as people? All right. So we're about finished with our time today. But I really enjoyed class, and I want to thank you guys for coming and participating and sharing all of your thoughts on these things. Anything else before we leave today?
A question: what do you do to help the environment?
Oh, good question. Well, I'm just like you guys. I try to recycle when I can, although in the area that I live right now, it's actually difficult because they don't have a recycling pickup. So in order to recycle, you have to actually find a new use for all of your trash. Can be very difficult sometimes. But I try to recycle, and I have a rabbit who I feed all my vegetable scraps to, and I try to reuse clothes. I shop at used clothing stores, so sometimes I feel like maybe that's better than buying something new. But other than that, I'm just like you guys. I use cars, which is a negative effect on the environment, and sometimes I think I use too much energy. I might even waste some water now and again with a long shower or a bath or something. So there's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives, but I definitely think one day I'd like to get a little closer to the positive side of affecting the environment.
All of us.
Yeah, all of us for sure. All right, guys. Thanks a ton for class, and I will see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Michaela. This is a
Bye.
great class.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.